All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another amazing edition of the role of data analytics in various industries. This is our seventh edition. We've been able to look at different sectors from real estate to logistics to health to agriculture to education and all. Today, we're going to be looking at the role of data analytics in a very interesting sector, the sports sector. So we're going to look at the role of data analytics and data analysts in the sports sector. And to do justice to this topic, I have three very amazing young and bright data analysts. I have Jacob with me, Jacob or Samere. I have us Isioma, we call her Oma for short. And we also have Justin on this call. The three of them are going to be doing justice to this conversation today. And we're not going to waste so much of your time, and we're going to get started immediately. And let's have let's have Justin come on board, talk to us about and introduce what we're going to be doing today as his slide is, and then Omar will take over from there. Yeah, Mr. Jacob, welcome to the call. You can take over now, sir. Thank you.
Very much, Mr. Steve, for this opportunity, and good day to everyone across the globe. Just like Mr. Steve already mentioned, we'll be taking on the role of data analytics in sport industry. At first, when we have the first slide, I don't know how we move the introduction, like on those pictures that we had earlier. So at first, we're looking at the roles of data analytics in sport industry. What people had in mind was just sport, football, and I hope you are aware in part of the world, the times tends to differ. So some persons, some part of the world, they use football, some part of the world they use soccer, as the case may be. But if you see the first slide that was shown before the introduction, it tends to give us a broad view of what we need to know. What when we mention sport, our football alone. And so in terms of sport, we have team sports, and in terms of team sport, where we have the football, as we all know, we have the basketball, we have the cricket, we have the baseball, we have etc. And then we also have an individual sport, as we all know. We have the tennis, short tennis, or the tennis, golf. We have the boxing, we have the wrestling, etc. But sports where we speak to boxing, judo, cards, wrestling, and then kickboxing. And then we also have what we call the water sports. The sea, diving, water pool, canoes for those of us that have lived in a rural, or people use canoe for racing. And in the sea, we have the sailing sports, snowboarding, space kiting, etc. And then we have the motor sport as well. We have the Formula One, we have the rally race, motor. And so we have a lot of sports. Um, Sport industry is wide, and so it is very important that we take a look at this role in terms of data analytics as we proceed. And you can see sport has developed beyond physical talent and coaching alone. Today, data analytics play a major role in helping teams, athletes. So it times as we proceed in the course of this, just see when it talks about team, at what point do we need a new athlete to ensure that it were booming. I can tell you, you can't mention clubs in the world without talking about Barcelona, without mentioning Real Madrid, Manchester United, and athletes as well in the whole world with Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, and the likes. and then we have this organization that makes a better decision. So with the help of data, these teams are built perfect. They are built perfectly well to suit the current system of the day, from tracking players' performance to improving games strategies. So with the help of data analytics, we can easily track your record, keep players' performance in terms of what we call the window market or window session, where players are recruited. With data analytics, we can use that to picture what players should come in, what players should be let out of your team. So it also helps to improve game strat and reduce. At some point, I was my team member that are also here, and I told them if Cameroon have a yellow card in first match, in first half, yeah, please do it to remove him in second half. If not, that will go red card. And with the help of data, we were able to strategic information, strategic data and form decision organization. Data has become an essential part of modern sport. We can't talk about sporting industry without mentioning it. It's critical. Data are key in that field. Today we are playing World Cup. A lot of 10,000 people, 20,000 people. I think a key part of the stand uh, came with about 5,000 followers, and it was living with about 20 million. There's no data, we can't track them. 1,000 person, and it's 20 million, and it's one of the most parts today in the world. So I think at this point, to build our analytics in sport industry, we are not just referring to football or soccer alone, but there are other areas that encompasses sport industry. I think I would like to move over to the next slide, um, and Justin will take over from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob, for that introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Oma, and I'll be talking about what data analytics is all about. So, data analytics is the process of collecting, examining, and interpreting data to find useful information, right? So instead of just looking at numbers alone, we the analysts we study this data to discover patterns, trends that help coaches and managers make better decisions. So we have different types of data uh different types of data, yeah, in data analytics. So we have the prescriptive data. So this actually answers the question what happened, like, it actually summarizes a past events for okay, I'm going to give an example. Like a football team won 20 matches and lost 10 last season. This actually summarizes what happened before, like a past event. So moving on to the diagnostic analytics. Why did it happen? We want to know the reason behind this result. Like um what happened? Like what's the reason behind this team losing 10 matches last season? So would say probably because the team lost because they had many injured players and poor poor defending. This is actually the reason behind their losses last season. So moving down to the predictive analytics, what is likely to happen, right? So this actually predicts the future outcome. So would say based on previous performances, the team has an 80% chance of winning the next match, right? Due to their poor defending, due to the numbers of injured players, the next match, like they're actually going to have 80% chances of winning this next match. So this predictive analytics actually predicts future outcomes. Yeah. So we have the last one, which is the prescriptive analytics. This answers the question, what should we do? Like, we recommending a solution to the problem, right? So we'd say, okay, since the team since the players are injured and they have poor defending, the coach should actually, rest some tired players and change the formation. You understand? So in order for us to actually win for the next match season, this is the solution we need to take. This is the recommended action we need to take in order for us to um get good results. That'll be all for now. Thank you.
I don't know. Any one of you can proceed to talk to us about the types of data and sources in sports.
Okay, thank you very much, Omar. Like Omar actually analyzed that of the four type of data analytics, and then we move to the type and sources in sport. And so basically, we have internal and external, and where we use the internal in terms of training. We take data basically in terms of the training time. So data basically training time, at what time would the player come, it insight. Basically, it's you to have the medical record of each of the player. I think recently a um, medical check actually failed with my one of the Mayu player that was, in fact, that was already a done deal in terms of monetary record and what have you. But when the player actually went on medical record, there was a, and that actually the deal invalid. And imagine if no medical record, medical facility, or back to check and to see the fate of that player actually inherited a player that they don't know is not medically sound. But with data, you can easily go back to data and it will give you um, an insight of what you need to. And then we move to statistics. Just like Omar mentioned in the previous one, you look at a particular match and you can easily analyze. You can do statistics, and people can tell you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, um, France won Italy, and so I'm very sure that France is going to win. Then what they are trying to do, they are trying to predict those matches. But with internal record, the coaches, the team basically look at the statistics on ground. What player were there? Were this team defensive? Were the team attacking? At what point do we need to attack? At what point do we need to? With match statistics, just to take a little bit outside, well, I say outside basically now. So when I mean outside, those that are involved with games, prediction of games, and some can tell you, I'm very sure this team will win, and he can tell you the reason based on the previous record, just like what Omar mentioned, previous record, what happened, and they can use that to predict the future. And talk about GPS tracker. You can use that to track a lot of things. Today, we have the VAR assisting in terms of decision. We have a lot of camera these days on the pitch. So these are a lot of data that can help make an informed decision in a team. And then we talk about the external. We talk about FIFA uh, Federation of International Football Association, FIFA is one of the biggest body in the world. I don't think that you can mention in terms of sport, you mention sport without mentioning FIFA because of how large and how big and how dynamic it is. So they have a large number of data sets, and in terms to be external can be out of control for a certain jurisdiction. And they also have what we call the EPLs, and then we also have what we call the social media review. These days, club makes money from social media review. They hear the player, they hear the coaches, what thing are they doing next in terms of getting a new player, are they releasing a new player, what is coming on board. With this data, it helps to it helps and guides the organization in terms of sporting industry as a whole. And then as you go, we also have sources talk about performance data, the measure how players, athletes, and team performance. So we talk about performance data as old as Ronaldo, if permit me to say, as old as Ronaldo, if any club is going for Ronaldo, he's still a big player based on his past record and his still current record in the market. So this helps to enhance the football as it helps to enhance the club as a team. They will talk about the biometrics and health data. Thus, we have like in the internal talk about the medical record. This data helps the coaches. There are some players that are prone to injuries, and so with this data, they can easily skip some players for coming to your team, as the case may be. You talked about event and match day. Yes, thank God to technology these days. You can stay at home and you watch your matches online. They'll tell you the next match in FIFA World Cup will be taking place tonight. The final is coming up, so period. It helps to program yourself as an individual. And then we talk about fan base. Uh, I think during the time of Alex Ferguson, in terms of football now, and so some of the players were actually passing the fans, and he told them, "Please go back and meet those guys. They're the one paying your salary. Go and attend to them." So because the fans they have a voice. Imagine playing the football without the fan base. It's meaningless, or playing the football without the fans or the spectators actually taking the view. It's going to be baseless. But so the fans has a view, they has a voice, and they also have their own contribution in terms of the sport industry. So these are the types and then the sources of data in sports industry. Thank you. The next.
Okay. Thank you, Jacob. So moving on, we're talking about the roles of data analytics in sports. So data analytics actually improves sports in various ways, in many ways, and one of them include the performance analysis. Right, this help the coaches evaluate players' strengths and weaknesses. Right, so to know like their improvements, or to know where improvement is needed, right? So like example is to know how fast they can go, to know how much ground they can cover on the pitch, or how many minutes they can play. Yeah, so or we could say like okay, another example, yeah, so probably when a striker score with when a striker score goes with the right foot more than the left, we would say okay, the left foot is his weakness, I don't know, but and the right is his strength, because he actually score more goals with that right foot more than the left. Yeah, so moving on, we talk about the strategy development. So coaches study previous matches and opponents to develop better tactics and game plans. So now for example, pardon me. So for example, in basketball, a coach can, actually use data to know the weakness of his opponent, that is the attacker, right? So with this data, this coach can actually use it against his opponent and create a very good strategy and tactics for for his player, or create a very good game plan for his players. So we have the injury prevention. Fitness data helps identify when players are tired before injury happens. So if a player workload is high, they can be rested, right, to prevent injuries or even deaths. This type of data is very, very important. Like, yeah, very important. So we have the fan engagement. This helps the team understand the fans better, right? So sports organization uses data to improve their marketing, ticket sales, and fan experience. Yeah. So moving on to the next, the talent identification. Data helps club discover talented players, right? So when a young player is when a young player has an excellent statistics, he can actually be signed into the sports organization or the sports team. Yeah, so these are like few of the roles of data analytics in sports. Thank you.
Let's talk about challenges of data collection and data cleaning in sports. Or anyone, or Omar, you can go ahead and take care of that if you want to.
Can you hear me, sir?
Okay, we can hear you, Justin. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Good evening. The network has been crazy from my end. Okay. Let's take a look at the challenges of data collection and data cleaning in the sports industry. As we all know, the sports now a $1 billion investment all across the country, and sport is being on of recent is quite different from our
Okay, it seems the network from Justice side is very bad, so I would take over from there. Mr. Stewart, can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. We can proceed.
Okay, okay, okay. So, yeah, so although data analytics is very, very useful, but collecting data has several challenges, and one of them is high cost of wearable devices and tracking systems. Firstly, technology isn't free, right? So buying good equipment and software requires a massive budget. Yeah, so it's not like maybe most teams cannot actually afford, maybe most teams can't afford, but it's requires high maintenance and high financial capacity, right? Yeah, so moving on to the next, we have inaccurate or incomplete data during um during games. Yeah, so if data isn't, proper, if data isn't properly, um sorry, I'm so sorry, mistakes can actually happen if data isn't entered, properly, right? So for example, there could be like a sensor glitch, or probably the Wi-Fi drops during a mid game, or the camera loses sight of a player for like a minute or a second. This act alone can actually leave us with missing or incorrect um numbers, and with all these missing or incorrect numbers, it actually make our analysis not reliable at all. Yeah, so there shouldn't be any mistakes, and data shouldn't be entered incorrectly. So moving on to the next, we have different data formats. So data comes in different languages, different formats, different patterns. So for example, the medical team can actually use um a software to save their own reports, probably as a PDF file, and the GPS has its own saving format, and also the video has its own saving format, probably an MP4 format, right? So I, as the analyst, I have to like combine this whole format in order for it to work together, and it can actually be a little bit challenging trying to like bring in different formats to work together. So the last one we have here is privacy concerning privacy concern regarding athletes' personal information. So the players' information, especially the medical records, must be protected. It is actually confidential. It must be handled with care. It shouldn't be out there. So I, as the analyst, I actually have to handle um such information with care, right? In order for it not to be out there in public. Yeah, so that's all for the challenges of data collection. Thanks. Okay, we also have uh, the
Some
challenges of data cleaning. Yes, we can. I can hear you.
okay. The challenge of data cleaning. Thank you very much, Omar. So we we second part of the challenges, and then the data cleaning. As you can see on the slides, um, a very big man, hands on his head, and began to see from his expression, he's almost crying and weeping. That how some they said, especially the first one that speaks to removing duplicates in record. And I believe when Omas to using different data format, it can go more cumbersome as a data analyst. in trying to create. Some of this data can run in millions, some can run in thousands, and you're trying to move all of the duplicate records. It is really weird, and if cares are taken in most scenarios, an analyst is working particular data more than once because see and you go to the next one, you see the age different as a case. And then we talk about inconsistent data. These all of the first three consuming, you see spending a week in trying to clean up a data set. So this data is in cleaning up data every day tends to be your time. Sometimes even taking your resources. Yes, if you don't pay key detailed attention. So as an analyst, what you need to do is to pick rules in all of study your data set first. You see data set and you jump in working. Study the variable data. If not, it will lead to time consuming. And at the end of the day, you see the pictures, you'll be crying. I put 5 hours in cleaning the data, and at the end of the data is still not analysis. Thank you. Please the next.
Okay, so moving on, the tools and technology in analytics. So we have the spreadsheet software, organizing and analyzing basic data. So we can actually use tools like Excel and Google Sheets for this basic analysis. And we also have the programming language supporting advanced analysis and automation. So we can actually use tools like the Python and R. They are actually used for advanced analysis and automation. So we have the database system storing and managing large amount of information. This is where the SQL and MySQL comes in. They store and manage large amounts of data. So we have the cloud and the AI technology. Yeah. So we make use of tools like the Google Cloud, the ASW, and the Microsoft Azure. They help process large data sets quickly. Yeah, so we also have the visualization tools, right? We have for creating charts, dashboards, and reports. We actually can use the Power BI and the Tableau, but we can actually make use of Excel. But Excel is not. I wouldn't really recommend Excel for like large data sets. Yeah, so Power BI makes your chart and dashboard very fine, and we can also make use of Tableau. And moving on, we have the machine learning platforms identifying patterns and generating predictive insights automatically. Yeah, so the machine learning actually helps predict future performance and identify hidden patterns. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't. Okay, so let me take this. The role in sports, and the first capture there is protecting information and building. It is skill as an analyst to your client building trust. Imagine or in a where you you send an information to someone, and at the end of the day, you move to the internet, you see all of those charts, all of those things on the internet. As an analyst, you can be sued for that. An analyst to protect your client information and build trust. And so analyst plays an important in turning raw sport data into useful information. It is all of this information, especially in times of you you don't release their information if you're not asked to. So as an analyst, you must have that at all of the information and build trust. And then we have about 6 of them that also speaks to that area. Collecting and analyzing. It is our duty to collect, and as a data analyst, you must inform the reason making their data. Then is based also have to organize them in times for sport. For instance, if you're having a match in a particular stadium, and what you need to do, those persons coming in, they can do booking, they can do online booking. You tend to collect data that has to do with their names, their date of birth, where they stay, particular region, and then what have you. At the end of the day, you collect and organize those data for sporting purposes. You don't collect data for sport and then you utilize them in times of health or in times of agriculture. In other areas, it must be used for that purpose. Analyzing players and see perform, we can and then use analyze. Oh, is this player fit into it? Can this player live players in some part move to be cool. So analyze data very well. Sometimes based on food, sometimes so him and create for the audience. They to be happy that of the of the club in the world. Barcelona, Man City is based on data. Analysis is to data to help if the data are not alive and no way. Sometimes cold is fire, and that's for lack of coach. for years in building historical data. Analysts are all of make your statistical um, that's on the predict, just like we talk of analytics, we talk about the predictive. You can predict with recruitment. You can say the conclusion what to say and goes beyond. You need to and with our data, these guys can stay longer fire information. You with A and information to crop B against it is not helpful and that's come on over to you.
Okay, so we'll be talking about the future of data analytics in sports, right? The future of sport analytics has, or is becoming even more exciting because technology continues to improve, right? So the future of sport analytics continue to grow with this technology. So we have the artificial intelligence, also known as AI. So this helps analyze large amounts of sport data quickly. It can also predict matches outcome, evaluate players' performance, and even suggest, the best strategies for these coaches. Yeah. So we also have the wearable technology, right? So devices like the smartwatches, the fitness tracker collects, real time data like the heart rate, the speed, the distance covered, and of course the body temperature. Right, this helps the coaches monitors the player fitness and also help to reduce the risk of injuries and also deaths. So, moving on to the next, we have the machine learning. It identify performance trends and injury risk. Yeah, machine learning is actually a type of AI that helps from previous data, right? It can actually identify patterns, predict player performance, and detect injury risk before they become very, very serious. So we have also the virtual reality. Okay. Using data to improve training sections. So this virtual reality actually allows the athletes to practice in a stimulated environment, right? It literally helps them improve their skills, decision making, and reactions without being in an actual game. Yeah, so we also have the smart stadiums, right? So enhancing fans' experiences through personalized services and live analytics. So this smart stadiums uses technology to improve the fans' experience, right? They provide features such as digital ticketing, live match statistics, and faster services. Yeah. So with all this, whole thing, I would say data analytics has transformed sports by helping team make better decisions, improve players' performance. It has also helped to reduce um injuries and enhance fans engagement, although there are actually a lot of challenges, especially in data collecting and data cleaning. But you know advanced technologies such as AI and machine learning, will continue to shape the future of these sports. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing presentation right there. Um, Jacob, thank you so much as well. And Justin tried several times to join in, I guess, but network keep doing this stuff, but that's okay. I think we've learned a whole lot. Jacob, what will be your final words to our viewers tonight? Okay, I think we've. Omar, can you hear me? Omar,
Yes,
can
sir.
you hear me now? Yeah. So, what will be your final words to our viewers tonight, please?
Should I speak or Omar should speak?
Go ahead, Jacob, speak. Then Omar will speak.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for listening, and please do it to follow us at Avos Tech Up on your Facebook, on your Instagram, and on your LinkedIn as well for more interesting episodes. Thank you, Mr. C, for this opportunity, and see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you, everyone.
Your mic is muted in case you're speaking, though. I guess we lost Omar right there, so I want to thank you for following through this episode today on the role of data analytics in sports. Until we come your way on Friday for another blockbuster, please, and I wish you all an amazing Tuesday evening. Good night.